Through experience, and also I have found that when you are super emotional, that player feeds off of that emotion. So it's better to not, why am I going to give them the satisfaction that I'm frustrated? I just threw left or right, or my bag went off the back, or I missed my push, or whatever. Okay, it is what it is, because if they can see that I'm frustrated, that's a very easy target for them, because now all of a sudden my focus is gone.
Hello, Cornhole people. My name is Adriel Loshak, and with this channel, my goal is to help Cornhole players get to whatever level of Cornhole they choose. I was lucky enough to interview Katie Matthews, a PDC professional. Please like and subscribe, and without any further ado, here's the interview.
Katie Matthews ranked, I believe, 12th or 14th in women's. First year PDC player. Hopefully will be a pro at the end of the season.
This part of the interview is the mental aspect of the game.
That's the hardest part of this game. Yep. Okay.
Do you have any pre-game rituals, meditations, things that you do to make sure you've got your best before a big match?
I go into an open probably pretty focused. The morning of, I try to just kind of rein it in. Probably, I don't know if it's like a meditation, but it's just more of a breathing. Just try to get your head into the right space and not get overwhelmed with who you're going to be playing against. Being in PDC, I have to play in the open. So sometimes my first draw can be pretty rough. And so I just have to give it my best and don't maybe expect the win, but play your best. So, you know, I've opened up and opened with Devin Harbaugh. I've opened up with Frank Modlin. So my first games can be sometimes pretty rough. And then after that, I can kind of settle in and I play well. I just maybe don't win it, but at least I play well. So I'm at a point where I feel like mentally I'm better, that I'm not overwhelmed. I think I've gotten into these tournaments now where I walk in and I'm just ready to play. So I think it's just more of a breathing technique for me. More of
Describe
a focus.
The breathing technique.
I think I just needed to be quiet, and it was a book that my brother had me read. It's called Breathe, and it just kind of helps settle your heart rate down, get more oxygen going, just kind of clears your head. But I think it's that, and then it's just the mental game of just kind of focus. I'm probably pretty quiet. Matt probably doesn't talk too much to me. I'm probably a little bit, I just kind of rein it in. I get pretty focused pretty early.
Rein it in meaning?
Get rid of the emotional part of it, just because I think you can get in your head and you're super competitive and you want to win. I think it's just that. I think it's just the focus and just, you know, the breathing, just settling in. So.
You had a bad throw or a bad round.
Okay.
What do you do to bring it back? Because you haven't lost the game. You just had a bad throw or a bad round.
I just take a minute. I just step back. I step back from the board and kind of just refocus.
And what are you refocusing at?
On my release point. Because if I've missed, it's my release. It's because I just didn't release in the same spot for whatever
A little
reason.
high, a little low, or?
Typically, if I miss left or right.
Left or right, okay.
So I don't typically short it. I typically go left or right. And it's just because I didn't finish palm up and do what you're supposed to do. So I have to refocus. So, yeah.
Very important game, finals.
Okay.
Very close match.
Okay.
You have a shot that you can win the game if you make the shot.
Okay.
It could be easy, it could be hard. In those moments, all those shots are really, really difficult.
Okay.
What do you do for that shot?
I go for the win.
Of course, but mentally, what do you do?
I take a breather. I kind of step back just to make sure if it's to win the game, because I play aggressive anyway. So if I don't go for the win, and then we go next round and I lose, then I'm gonna be mad that I didn't go for the aggressive. I've lost that way. So now I always go for the shot because I'd rather go for it and not know. So all I do is just kind of breathe, just take a breather and make sure that that's what I'm doing.
Your opponent is being super loud, obnoxious, or they're just taking 15, 20 seconds in between each shot. They're chewing gum, for whatever reason, they are annoying you. What do you do to rein it in so you can continue to play at a high level?
I think I'm pretty solid at tuning that out. The only thing I have gotten frustrated on is the amount of time that somebody will take. And if it's becoming an issue, I will call timeout and I will get somebody to come over. I think for the most part, I haven't dealt with that this season. It hasn't been a problem this season. So, but I'm pretty good at tuning it out. Doubles is where I think it can get more tricky. You deal with probably a little bit more obnoxious behavior in doubles. Singles, I don't feel like you do as much. Doubles, you do. There's just a lot of talking.
Your partner is playing really badly. Whether it's your chosen partner because it's a bring your own partner or it's a blind draw.
Okay.
What do you do to either encourage them to start playing better, and then how do you keep it from affecting your own personal game?
That's probably a really good question. So, from experience, Matt and I tend to throw together, and we've had those moments, both of us. I have gotten to where I'll be super encouraging because I already know that he's down on himself, and vice versa. When I've had we've been in rounders before, and you would never know that I could even throw. I don't even know what happened. So both of us are very encouraging. I tend to, in doubles, I've gotten to where now, if that happens, I just rein it in. And I'm like, you know what, I can do this. It's fine. It is what it is. I just need to not, if they've had a bad round, I need to not have a bad round. That's when doubles gets in trouble. So I'm very encouraging. I'm like, it's all right. Let's go. We got this. Don't even sweat it. Because that round's done. There's nothing you can do about it. So at that point, I have to just play my game, and I have to be able to play defense at that point and capitalize on misses from the other person. So I'm way better at that now. Before, emotionally, I'd get super mad. Matt can attest to that. I was not great. I can still get mad, but with him, I'm better now.
Did you get better through experience, or is there special techniques that you've done?
Through experience, and also I have found that when you are super emotional, that player feeds off of that emotion. So it's better to not, why am I going to give them the satisfaction that I'm frustrated? I just threw left or right, or my bag went off the back, or I missed my push or whatever. Okay. It is what it is, because if they can see that I'm frustrated, that's a very easy target for them, because now all of a sudden my focus is gone. So through experience and probably watching and playing against some of these players, if you watch a lot of the top players, they don't really show too much. I mean, even when they miss big or they miss the shot that they've hit 40,000 times, they don't lose it. They're like, okay. They just don't. Kyle Malone is perfect at that. Nothing. You don't even know that he's missed a shot. So he's solid. Don't play emotional. Do not play emotional. You can when you're winning. I mean, that's fine afterwards. I get it. I mean, I love watching those games. I just think it's hard if you're losing or if you've had a bad shot. It's hard to come back from that. So you need to kind of just, I don't know how I do it. I just tune it out because I can't do anything about it.
Do you play any mind games?
Yeah, I have. Yep. If somebody is taking their sweet time, I'm going to take my sweet time. If somebody likes to throw really fast, if they're like literally right behind me on my throw, then yeah, I'm gonna take my time, because I know that that's going to mess with their pace. So, yeah.
Are there any instances where someone was playing mind games to you and it affected you?
Yeah, I mean, not that I can think of. I think if somebody, not any time recently, in the past, yes. I wouldn't say probably in the last year and a half, not really. I feel like everybody we tend to play against now doesn't really, do that. I think when you play against somebody, I know I played against somebody where their bag was not the prettiest, and I don't know how it went in. And that messed with me. And I was like, oh my God, how is this bag? It was like bouncy. And this is probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I mean, it's been a while. That's the only time I can remember that. But in the last year and a half, basically since I've been back, I can't think of anything I'm pretty good now at tuning all of that out. I'm pretty solid at. Before it probably affected me, but now I don't know. I can tune it out now. I can just tune it out.
Do you wear ear pods or something with music while you play?
It depends.
Pros and cons.
I like the energy of a game, so it's hard for me sometimes with the AirPods. I do like the energy. Now, depending on doubles sometimes, maybe just one. I don't know that I need both. The energy of the game, I think sometimes it takes away. I think sometimes if you don't hear what's going on, or if you're, I don't know, because I love music. And I learned this in a tournament. I was at a regional. I was playing against Jay or Tony Franco. It was a couple years ago. And a great song came on. And my energy level went up a lot faster than I felt like it should have. And I was like, oh my God. I just was loving the song. And so my throws were a little bit faster and more energetic. And some were going off the back. I was like, oh no, this is not good. So I've reined in now on the AirPod music and what I have chosen. I love the hype music. I don't mind listening to hype music before a game or before a big tournament. That's cool. But during a game, that can be a little tricky. Like if Eminem comes on, Lose Yourself, great song. Not good when you're in the middle of a game because I just think it pumps you up. So I think it's going to be personal. I think it depends on what you're trying to block out. Mentally, I think it's don't beat yourself up. I think a lot of people get into these games where, I think we expect to throw a 4-bagger every round. I think sometimes, you go against some players that have been playing a lot longer and they have that experience of these big tournaments. Like when I've played against Sam or Sarah or some of these, names that have been around for a long time. That experience is key. They've been doing that a lot longer. So I feel like as a player, not just me, I think for everybody, I think you can't beat yourself up. I think you got to understand that they've been doing this a little bit longer. So their nerves and their mental game is stronger. They've been doing it longer. So it's just that thing you got to, again, it's be patient. It'll happen, but keep playing. Go play the tournaments. Go play the big ones. Go get beat 21-0. Go play against everybody and do everything, and you'll get there. I think we all get there. So yeah, I just think you got to keep playing. That's part of this mental game. I think that's part of the strategy. So yeah.
She also hosts a Tuesday nightly blind draw. The details are right over here if you would like to go. I hope all 4 bags go in the hole, and see you next video.